Hi fantasy managers, and welcome to FPL Team Talks. In this video I'm going to go through my team selection for game week 24. I'm going to talk a lot about chip strategy and how that might affect the transfers I'm going to make. We're going to look at wildcards, free hits, talk about that in some depth as well. So if you enjoy these sort of videos, give it a like, don't forget to subscribe. In the meantime, let's get into it. Let's have a quick look at how I got on then in game week 23. It was a pretty good week. It was another green arrow, which is great. Back up to 184k. Some highlights. I think the main highlight for me really was not defensively, that's for sure. No one picking up any points. 2 between the 4 players, but overall no one really picked up much in defence unless you had maybe Trippier or something like that. Got the captaincy wrong. Again, it felt. Richarlison, Saka, Palmer, Watkins all returning. Haaland did return, not getting not getting as many points as them, but easy always to say in hindsight. I think it still was the obvious choice, and given that he started, I was really pleased with that. One of the best highlights, I suppose, was Garnacho, just coming in with his brace, getting 16 points. That was really pleasing because he's such a differential. It was actually before the Man City game. I was up rank about 124, 130k, something like that. Went down because of it. Haaland didn't do as well as would like, but you know what? Any green arrow I'll take, so I'm really thrilled with that. I did roll the transfer, so that was a good decision. I think it gives me 2 free transfers moving into this game week, and let's see the different options because I am thinking about using one of my chips in game week 25. So let's have a look and see how that might pan out. Okay, this is my side then going into game week 24. I'm going to try and make this as simple and as transparent as I can as to my plans. Currently, the side got issues with this to Pinyan. Not sure whether he's going to get his place back. Hopefully, Cash retains his place because Konza is now out for at least a month. The issue I only have with Cash is that even though he's been playing right back, Villa will be losing games and conceding goals. So overall, his attacking numbers look good. I'm just not sure whether he's covered himself in glory at the moment. The rest of the side looks pretty decent. Haaland as captain looks absolutely fine. The whole season I feel really pivots at this moment. Do I use my free hit in game week 25? I've got no interest in using my wild card. I don't think it's in that sort of trouble state. And there's just Liverpool players with the double game weeks coming up in 25 for Liverpool and City that I particularly want to target. And all I've got is Salah, and I'm not sure he's going to be fit for either of those double game weeks in game week 25. So it's just purely, how do I get through that or maximise? Is it an opportunity to bring those Liverpool players in and then ship them back out on a free hit? That's what it comes down to. I could get 3 Liverpool players out quite easily. I think I've got 2 transfers, so I can bring 2 other players in. Waiting for news on Salah, because that could be key. If he's not on the bench for Burnley, I just don't think there's any chance he plays in those 2 games in 25. So close to the EFL Cup final, the second one as well. So I am reluctant, even if he does get a bench in place on against Burnley, I'm not sure he still plays those 2 games. So I think he probably has to come out whatever happens. I can get those in. I think without hits, I could get 2 City, maybe 2 Liverpool players in. But then it's getting them back out again afterwards because Liverpool blank in 26 and I have Tottenham and Chelsea players that would blank as well. So the way the side was set out is possibly I would look at bringing Virgil van Dijk at the back for Estepinian, who's losing his place in any case, and Jota would come in for Salah. So that would be my 2 transfers. Comfortably got enough money to do that. Not an issue because when you take Salah out of it, there's money going around all over the place. And that looks pretty good, that side. The projected points is about 54, 55. I don't want to get rid of, that's the other issue I've got, is I don't want to get rid of Watkins or Solanke. No way I'm getting rid of Haaland with a game week 25 double. Watkins now will play in 29. He plays in 26. So that's 2 good things for him going for him. Solanke will play in 26 and he's got a double in 28. So I just don't want either of those players going. And Haaland's just nailed in, so I can't get any forward slot. There's no forward slots available. That's just written in, I'm not changing that at all. Liverpool players, I'm not sure whether Trent's going to play all 3 games, with Burnley at home being a good fixture, then the double game week, so I'm not sure whether he will play. Virgil and Dota look pretty nailed. Darwin I would like, but as we've discussed, there's no other. sort of striking options. Robertson, I don't know about as well. Will he play both games? Konate injured. I don't know whether Gomez is going to play one or two. Alisson's the only other option. I don't feel I need to make a goalkeeping transfer. So Liverpool players I am struggling with, just Virgil and Jota at the moment. If I moved into Game Week 25, I could bring Virgil, Jota already in, Haaland's also in, and I could bring Walker in as well as I think is my other player. So that's using up all my transfers to 25, and that's the side that I'll put out. So I'd have 4 double Game Week players, predicted to get about 72 points. That's not a problem. But if we move into Game Week 26, coming out of that, it leaves me with a transfer. We've got Virgil, Palmer and Jota on the bench. I don't really want to keep longer term. They played Forest away in 27, but 28 City, blanking in 29. I don't want those Liverpool players. Richarlison, I do want to keep as well. Palmer, I want to keep. So it would be a case of moving Virgil or Jota out, hoping that Taylor's fit, and maybe Cash as well might not play. So I'm in a bit of a fix. I could get through it, I think, by moving out Jota and Virgil. So I'm just taking a punt on those two. If Taylor's not fit, I'm only getting 10 out. That's not a disaster. That's 37 points. Sorry, it's about 38 points projected. And I'll give you the relevance of that in a minute, because when I compare it to what I'm free hitting. So that would be how I'd get through 26 and 25. And it is manageable. Moving forward, I've then got the problem, I think, of 29 is that Liverpool most likely are going to play still in the FA Cup. The Southampton at home, so there's a likelihood they'll probably have to say get through that. So they will blank in 29, and I've got other issues with other players in 29 to deal with. And if those Liverpool players are just something else I'm going to have to deal with to make sure I get through 29, I could free hit because this assumes I don't use it. That's an option. But I think the free hit, I don't really want to use it in 29 because I think there's ways I can get through it. And then I'm using the free hit in maybe 34, 37, where there will be double game weeks later on. Won't know who they are until we get to, I think it's game week 20, game week 30, when we know who will be playing in the FA Cup quarters and semi-finals. The alternative is I do free hit into game week 25. Now, for free hit, I don't need to worry in game week 24 about who I'll bring in. So I'll just bring in Walker, possibly Foden. So Salah comes out. I could easily go to KDB, but I think I'd probably prefer Foden at the moment. So I'm just tripling up on that Man City attack midfield and defence. So I've got 3 Man City players in. The rest of the side looks decent to me. I'm pretty happy with the way the rest of that side set up. I keep Solanke and Watkins, as we know. And actually protected points is 2 points more than it was before. I don't like going into Liverpool at home to Burnley with no Liverpool players. But that's going to be the cost of the free hit, I think. If you're moving into free hit 26, this could... we'll look at the 26 game. So this is what the side would look coming out of the other side. And without any transfers, it looks pretty good. I've got Richarlison, Palmer and Porro, who all play... Porro and Richarlison will play in Game Week 29. So that's great. I can keep those. And that makes it already... I've got 5 players already guaranteed to play in 5 without even using any transfers. So I can start looking to move players around to get through Game Week 29. It's actually predicted to get 10 more points as well than the previous side. And it looks in really good shape. I quite like it. So I haven't got the issue now of having to move Liverpool players out. I can just focus on 29 and getting players in. And without a transfer, I'm already looking pretty well set. So that looks good. The free hit itself, this is just a side I've put together. Ignore the bench. I'll obviously put more thought into it. But for the time being, I'm looking at something like this, where I'd have 11 double game week players all in there. It's actually predicted to get over 19 points more than the other side. But it looks great and it looks really fun. Wouldn't be able to triple captain because I'm using a chip. I don't mind that. I think I'd still prefer to go Solanke in 28. The other benefit is I've got Tony and Darwin in, who both got fixtures. I am playing Doherty, Pinnock, Flecken at the back. I don't really know if I like that much. And I've got to bear in mind, will that side be a lot better than the other side in double game week 25? It undoubtedly will score more points. And I think for me, I am swaying towards this just because the way I come out in 26 is more manageable. I can then manage 29, and I think my plan would be then is to wildcard in 30, and then I'll be able to know really roughly who I will need for the rest of those those possible blank in 34 and double. and in 37 as well. And I just don't know if it's going to be a better opportunity to play it, because when we get to 37, which could be the biggest double game of the season, I think, yeah, there might be an opportunity to definitely use the free hit then. But at that point, we could have all sorts of rotation going on. The penultimate game of the season, you don't know which European fixtures teams who might be targeting. Liverpool might be out of the title race at that point, so you don't know who's going to be guaranteed starts. You don't know Man City you're planning for the Champions League. So suddenly, even a free hit becomes a real headache because you're not guaranteed players in. Whereas at this moment in time, I'm pretty we've got a Man City side that's pretty fully fit. I know this side on paper looks pretty good to get both games. There's never a guarantee, but I haven't got all those other issues going on. So will there be a better time to play that free hit? I just don't know. Also, it does force me to play that wild card in 30, which I don't mind, and I've got to just focus my attention on getting through, taking no hits doing this. So even if I take hits down the line to get a better side out, I haven't lost anything. So I'm kind of talking myself in. The only thing that could throw a spanner into works, I think, is if Salah suddenly was... Klopp comes out in the press conference and says, Salah's ready to go. He's back in training. He's going to probably play on a bench. I can't see him starting. But if that happened, then suddenly it becomes, actually, I've got maybe an extra Liverpool player that I don't have to transfer in, and then it becomes a little bit more viable to just play through 25 without free hitting, but still have the problem on the other side of getting rid of Liverpool players that I don't really want to keep, and then preparing for 29. So I know it's not popular, especially when I've sort of looked at advice from other content providers. From my side, I do really like it. And you know what I think? I've been thinking about it too much, as if it's life or death whether to go for the free hit or not. It's just fun playing it. I think I'm swaying towards playing the free hit in 25. That's it for this one then. Let me know in the comments below what you are doing for Game Week 24 and what you think your chip strategy is going to be moving forward. I will catch you next week with more team selections, watch list videos, all that good stuff. So if I don't speak to you soon, have a great weekend. Hope your FPL weekend goes well, and I shall see you on the other side.